And welcome to the Selling Through Partnering Skills podcast special episode or special series where I'm joined by Scott Wilson-Benner to talk about selling to IT. Scott is a sales director he's not a sales director, he's an IT director.
If only I was a sales director, Fred, I won't make any mistakes.
I've promoted you, mate. Maybe you will be. Promoted you, demoted you, who knows? No, he's the IT director, but he's going to talk to us about the frustrations or the things that annoy him about what salespeople do. This is a must listen to. I would suggest if you have any intention of approaching anybody in this position, because they'll probably be quite similar. So Scott, the stage is all yours.
Yes, I think
15, 20 minutes about what frustrates you, annoys you with salespeople. Go.
Yes, well, I work with a few of them, and they're frustrating at times as well. So it's not just people outside the business I work for; it's also people I work with. But
excellent, you're managing to insult everybody now, even better.
Everybody, yeah, absolutely, gloves off. I think for me, there are lots of frustrations, as we've probably spoke about before, Fred. But I think to really summarise I think there's probably three main ones, and then probably just a general one, really. So for me, there's this what I probably class as the best price sales pitch. So there's a product I want, so I know I want it. I know the supplier's got it. I will talk to them. We'll go through lots of meetings and discuss various technical aspects, which is all fine. And then we get a price. So give me a price, and I think that's really unreasonable. But they assure me that's their best price, so that's definitely the best price. And it's not until we go through a lot of negotiation, or I start walking away, or we start chipping little bits off functionality, or perhaps looking at things differently, that all of a sudden they come back and say, it's like being at I suppose bartering in a market on holiday. It does feel like that sometimes, which again, I do feel when you get to that sort of level where you're pitching products that can be a couple $100,000 or more, or it could be in the millions, that if you're buying a pair of shoes off a market stall, then fine, but you're not, so why behave in that way? I think it does give me a frustration. I've even walked away from a deal before that I desperately needed the product, but because they sort of went, yeah, that's my best price, and then the next minute it's 50% cheaper, that's definitely the lowest I can go. It's like, oh, hold on a minute, I now don't trust you at all as a salesperson. You've halved your price, or you've cut a massive amount off it. Why wasn't that your best price the first time around? And you do feel that you lose that level of trust. And for me, I'll say I've walked to a completely different supplier, still paid the higher price, but because there's that uncertainty about trust, honesty, and I think if you then get into implementation with this partner, how much confidence have I got that what they've sold me is actually real, or the services that I'm going to get are good enough in the way that they described? If they're behaving like that at the sales point, they've only just technically, some of them probably only just met me. They don't really know me yet. That trust is destroyed for me when we do the best price. So all I'd probably ask is, if you're going to give a price, make sure it is as close to your final price as possible. I understand that there's always a negotiation to be had, but sometimes you're left feeling a little bit lied to, let's say, from the initial pitch.
Well, and the effect of that, you use this word trust, it's such an important thing in professional sales. And we talk about this all the time. And I talk about partnering skills and how trust is right at the center of those. But what you're saying is that, this example, or someone who's doing that, because I suspect that does happen reasonably regularly, are going to lose the sale. They're going to lose all the service, the implementation, and the rest of it. They're going to lose any renewals if it's that kind of product, and they're going to lose every other opportunity ever, because it's not, you're going to go, you know what, this time you might be all right. No, bang, blown it. Do not darken the door again.
Yeah, well, that's probably the second one as well. So
excellent.
The second one's probably worse.
It's probably worse. Let me get comfortable. Go on, fire away.
So I think the first one, I use a supplier again? So I probably would, but I probably wouldn't want to speak to the same person. I'd probably say, no, I dealt with you before. Have you got someone else I can deal with? But But the second one that I call the con. So quite often, believe it or not, this was some years ago now, but it has happened now. And as you know, I've never forgot about it. It's in my mind. So, and you get this today with, people trying to sell you, unicorns and stuff like that online for £1 million. You'll either get an exaggerated situation when they're trying to sell a product, or they'll pretend to be someone else. So in this case, this person claimed to be from Microsoft initially. So I was sort of chatting to them, and I thought, this doesn't feel quite right. And I said, "You're actually from Microsoft?" It was like, no, we're actually a Microsoft Gold partner. Okay, well, you said you were from Microsoft. Yeah. What I meant was we work with Microsoft. So I'm thinking, okay. And it was all about licensing. So their exaggerated situation was, well, we know you run a number of Windows servers from the scans we've done. Okay, right. So not sure I've done those scans, but well done. And then, they started saying, oh yeah, and we've noticed that you're not licensed properly, and we need to make sure that, it's our job to reassure you that you are, and we want to make sure that you've got all the right types of license. We've got this fantastic tool that we can bring along and we can install, and we can make sure you're compliant, you can keep all your license in it, blah, blah, blah. And that's when sort of alarm bells started ringing. I thought, hold on a minute, this is just an absolute con. And I think their sales pitch, if they'd have come to me and said, how sure are you about your licensing compliance? Instead, and said, look, we've got this fantastic tool. These are the benefits it can bring. This is the value it can bring to your business. We can make sure, you're bulletproof and you've got all the right stuff that you need. That for me would have been the right approach, not pretending you're from Microsoft or any other software company out there. By this, not just only Microsoft that you have to buy licensing for, just to put a line with that. And instead, they were sort of almost insinuating that, you're going to get a massive fine if you don't sort this out, and you're going to be in trouble, and you're going to get the police banging on the door and all this kind of stuff. It was quite a strange sales pitch. And to be fair, I will never use that company, never. Even if they've got the best products in the world now, we'll never ever answer a call, take a call from them whatsoever.
So it's interesting, isn't
it? For me, it's just a crazy.
It's interesting how there's these, and people do stuff and they just burning their bridges completely. Right. So we've got. I love the way you're naming these. We're not a trainer on you yet. The best price pitch, the con.
The con.
Have you given the other? Have you given the next one?
Have.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Oh, cool.
So
you're making the show notes so easy.
So the other one for me is quite a new one. I've only experienced it perhaps in the last 12, 24 months. And I think as IT directors, some IT directors are completely technical, some are completely business. I'm probably a mixture of the two. And I think, but no matter whether you're technical or not, there is no way on God's green earth that anybody, if anybody claims they know everything about IT, they're lying, because it's such a big subject. It's huge. There's no way on God's green earth you will ever know everything about IT. It's just not possible. And you get this new sales pitch now, which I call the condescending pitch, which is, you'll get a sales call and, they're very pleasant to deal with, but they'll talk about, oh, we've got this product and it can do all these things. Have you heard of it? Out of interest, have you heard of it? And I feel sometimes you go, no, I haven't actually. And the sort of tone you get is, well, then you're a complete idiot then, aren't you, for not knowing this? But it can do all these things for you. I can't believe you've not realised this before, or I can't believe you've not got it. It's just stupid. What an idiot. And I think they then follow up by, well, you've got to buy it now, obviously, but they don't. And again, I think we spoke about this before. It's all good and well telling me technically what a product can do, which is fine. I understand technology, but what you should be doing is telling me what the challenge it's trying to address, and then asking me, do I have that challenge? Not just trying to ram something technical down my throat. And I'm quite happy to have technical discussions further along the sales pitch. I've just bought a whole load of new hardware, and I went into that sales pitch knowing what I wanted, more or less. But it was great to have the technical people on board later, further down the line, to then discuss the pros and cons of each approach. And, I'm happy to have that, but I think people ringing you up and making you feel like you're a complete moron because you've not got their product is probably not the right approach. But
it
people do
doesn't
it.
sound as though it would ever work. I can't imagine where this idea came from.
I don't know. I mean, I can't ever imagine going, yes, I'm a complete moron. Yes, I agree. And I would love to buy your product. It's just not, it's not a scenario I can see panning out, if I'm honest, but it does happen.
No, and human nature would just be like, you know what? I do need this because I've worked it out for myself now, even though you were bad at explaining to me why, but I'm still not going to buy it.
Yeah, I won't buy it because, you've annoyed me already. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And I think you're right. If you flick back to if you take those 3 examples, if you flick back to the role of the IT director, as we've already said, everyone's busy in today's world, not just an IT director. All the IT teams are busy trying to do things that they're doing. Market factors are switching so quickly, and the world out there is switching so quickly now. We've not got time to sit back and assess things most days, and most things are jumping between meetings. So, getting one of those 3 approaches is just adds to the frustration of your already busy life when you've got people wasting your time. I think
they could really catch it bad time, couldn't they, and just be the sort of like bang, make a really poor impact. You said there was another one, like a sort of an icing on the cake type thing, or it can happen at the same time as the others. What's this like? Multiple?
Yeah, well, I just think quite often. I mean, and it's not everybody. There are some white knights out there in the sales world. They're not all bad. So we are talking about the baddies at this point. But
yeah,
I think if they get past those first 3 problems, the challenge is most people never ask me what problem what problem is their product trying to solve for me. No one's actually took the time to understand, one, what does it solve in my industry, and have I actually got that problem? The first thing I'll be asking is, do you actually have this problem? Can I solve the problem that my product is trying to fix? Does the product fit in my organization? What are the aims of my organization or the product, and does it fit in with what I'm trying to sort out? Will it add any value to the business I'm running, or will it just be another product we're paying for that unfortunately just doesn't add any value at all? I think there's certainly people don't ever, like I said, it's all back to the partnering skills, Fred, isn't it? Where unless people start realizing they need to partner with people and understand what the challenges are and where they can add value, I think the bravest thing a salesperson can do, for me, and I've had this a few times, where yes, I've got a product, but I understand you've not got that challenge. It's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you very much. Can we keep in touch in case that challenge does occur in your industry? Of course you can. Yeah, absolutely. I've had quite a few of those conversations, and that's great. But quite often people don't even ask the question. They just start ramming things down your throat, and I say in the spare 5 minutes you've probably got, it's definitely not the right approach.
And that stepping away and saying timing is wrong because they've done the job so well, and are saying, can I stay in touch with you? It is your mind saying, no, definitely, I want you to stay in touch with me. I'm always disappointed I can't work with you because I've not got that problem. I'm pleased I haven't, but there will be others. And because you've shown that you know how to find out problems, that's what I'm going to go to, because you're not going to mess about.
No, exactly. And quite, there's a few businesses out there that I've dealt with, and we've even got a recurring 6-month touch base in the diary just to say how's things going. They might have new products that they've brought to market that might be of interest to me. Things that might have changed for me. I might, the business might have pivoted into a new market where their product is now applicable. And there's some really good people out there that are taking that approach, but it's not everyone, unfortunately.
Let's meet every 6 months. Just give me a quick overview. What have you got that might solve a problem that I don't know about?
Yeah.
Because I know that you won't talk about product. You'll go, okay, well, let me ask you some questions about, you said, what are you trying to solve at the moment yourself? What are the fits you're looking for? What are the wins? What are the things that you're trying to achieve as a business? That's the route they'll take. And they'll say, actually, we have got new stuff. I can talk if you're just technically curious, but it would only be from a curiosity thing.
Yeah.
It's not
again,
now.
For me, it's being brave enough to sit there and say, yeah, I can't help you. But people don't, quite often they don't do that, which can be frustrating. And they can, they think keeping you on the phone even longer to talk about something you don't want is a good idea.
Yeah, you can't help me. It's not adding any value. It ain't gonna go anywhere. You just frustrate me now, and you're basically talking yourself off my list of go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting stuff there. So, we need to give a name to that one. We'll think that one up. We'll think that one up by the time. But you said if they get past the problem, but actually they don't need to get past. They've created their own issues when they've done those three other stupid things.
If they do those other things, it's just a shut door.
The best price pitch, the con, and the condescending pitch. Do not do these. Yeah, try to understand what is somebody trying to achieve, what they're trying to solve, what's going to add value. Then see if you can, and if you can't, okay, you're going to need to find someone else that you can do that with. But back out gracefully, and you will stay on the list when something else comes up.
Exactly.
Brilliant. That's cool. Very nicely put. Very reasonably calmly put as well.
I was trying to stay calm. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get this. Some ways I was hoping you'd explode, but hey.
No, not today. I'm calm today. It's Saturday.
Calm day. It's a Saturday. You take your time out of Saturday to help us. And look, I really do appreciate you for that. And also, hopefully, people listening to this will take this stuff on board, stop doing some of those things which just do not work, essentially. So thank you, mate.
Cheers, Fred.